Hello everyone. In today's video I am going to talk about RT-PCR. RT stands for reverse transcription, and you all know what PCR means, polymerase chain reaction. So most people get confused with this term RT-PCR. We also have real-time PCR. So I specifically mentioned here as reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. And in my coming video I will discuss about the real-time PCR also. But right now we are going to discuss in detail about reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. This reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction often called as quantitative PCR. By using this quantitative RT-PCR, we can measure the gene expression by amplifying cDNA. Here the C stands for complementary DNA. cDNA reverse transcribed from RNA. Is it clear? Using this RT-PCR, that is reverse transcription PCR, we can measure the gene expression by amplification of cDNA, that is reverse transcribed from RNA. What is meant by this reverse transcription? First, let's discuss about the central dogma of life, and then we'll move into the topic for your better understanding. What is meant by central dogma of life? It involves all the three steps, right? Replication, transcription and translation. See here. From the DNA, if we get another copy of DNA, so here the DNA is a double stranded, right? So each strand will undergo the replication, giving rise to two dotted DNA molecules. So that process we are calling it as replication, right? So how do we define replication? Synthesis of DNA is called as a replication, right? And from the replication, what happens in the next step? If we get RNA from the DNA, that process we are calling it as transcription, right? The synthesis of RNA from DNA is called as transcription. And what is the next step? Synthesis of protein from RNA by a process called as translation. Clear? And here there is another concept called reverse transcription. What is meant by transcription? Synthesis of RNA from DNA, we are calling it as transcription, right? What if it is reversed? That we are calling it as reverse transcription, right? That is, if we get DNA from RNA, that is called as reverse transcription. And this reaction is catalyzed by an enzyme called RTase, that stands for reverse transcriptase enzyme, right? So here the DNA is cDNA. I already said C stands for complementary DNA. And this concept was proposed by Temin. So we can also call it as Teminism. Though it was proposed by Temin, the enzyme reverse transcriptase is first isolated by David Baltimore in the year 1970. Hope you are clear with the reverse transcription. If you understand this concept of reverse transcription, then it will be easy for you to understand the method of RT-PCR. This is the diagrammatic representation for central dogma of life, where you can see all the three processes of replication, transcription and translation, right? We all know that the total genomic DNA will have both the coding sequences and the non-coding sequences, right? And this coding sequences are called as genes. If you look into the gene, it will have again coding regions and non-coding regions. What do we call those coding regions? We call them as exons, right? And the non-coding regions are called as introns. Introns are the intervening sequences that doesn't code for any amino acid, whereas the exons will code for the amino acid, right? So if you look into the picture, this is the double stranded DNA, right? When it undergo the process of replication, what is meant by replication? Synthesis of DNA from the template DNA strand, right? So here, after the process of replication, you are going to get two double stranded DNA molecules. So this is the parental DNA and these are the daughter DNA molecules, right? So next is the transcription and then translation, right? So if you look into this picture here, So this is the promoter site, this is the intron, exon and intron. So the gene will have exon and the introns. Exons are the coding regions and the introns are the non-coding regions. That means they doesn't code for any amino acid, right? So when this gene, that is the exon, when it undergo the process of transcription, you will get mRNA, right? What is meant by transcription? The synthesis of mRNA from DNA is called as transcription, right? So this is the mRNA. When this mRNA undergo the process of translation, it will give rise to a protein, and this protein is having a amino acid residues. And when this mRNA is converted to cDNA, that we call it as reverse transcription, that is carried out by an enzyme called reverse transcriptase. We discussed earlier that the DNA is present in every cell. It will undergo the process of replication, transcription, translation, giving rise to a protein. Then what about this reverse transcription? Where does it occur? And where this enzyme reverse transcriptase is present? We know different types of viruses, right? Some viruses will carry DNA as a genetic material and some viruses will carry RNA as a genetic material, right? So most of the retroviruses will have RNA as a genetic material. Best example is HIV. HIV virus have RNA as a genetic material. So retroviruses and some of the related viruses which carry RNA as a genetic material, their amplification and quantification is not possible with the conventional PCR method. I already made video on PCR. Please go through that video for better understanding. In conventional PCR method, what we have used? We have used Taq DNA polymerase enzyme, right, for the synthesis of DNA. And there we have used DNA as a starting material. So once you set up a reaction mixture, what you are going to add? You are going to add DNTPs, you are going to add buffer, you are going to add template DNA, you are going to add Taq DNA polymerase, right? But here we are saying that some of the viruses were having RNA as a genetic material, right? And for this reverse transcription PCR method, we are going to use RNA as a starting material and not DNA. In that case, we can't use Taq DNA polymerase, right? Why? Because Taq DNA polymerase will synthesize DNA, not RNA. We all know the role of Taq DNA polymerase, right? What it is going to do? It is going to add one nucleotide after the other and it is going to synthesize the DNA, right? But not the RNA. We are saying that some of the viruses will have RNA as a genetic material. So we can't proceed with the conventional PCR method. And this problem is overcome with the discovery of reverse transcriptase enzyme. Of course, we have Northern blotting technique where we are going to identify a specific RNA. But that is very tedious, time consuming, and sometimes it is unreliable. Northern blotting, what we actually do? We have to first isolate the RNA and then we have to separate it using agarose gel electrophoresis technique, and then we are going to transfer these RNA fragments onto a nitrocellulose membrane, which we call it as blotting, and then we need to use radio label probes, and when we subject to autoradiography, we can identify a specific RNA molecule, which is a lengthy process, right? And if we want to study the RNA, first it should be converted to DNA. That is what I said here. The synthesis of cDNA from RNA, we call it as a reverse transcription process, right? So for this reverse transcription process, we need an enzyme called reverse transcriptase. For this RT-PCR, so as I just explained you right now, what is the starting material? Here we are not using any DNA as a starting material and we need RNA here. Along with the RNA, we need set of primers, we need probes, PCR buffer, and most importantly, reverse transcriptase enzyme. These are some of the key ingredients to perform the method of RT-PCR. So here I am saying that instead of DNA, RNA is the starting material, right? So if we want to carry out this procedure, First, we need to isolate the RNA. You can go with the any of the methods. Either you can go with the phenol chloroform extraction method, or you can directly use a kit method for the extraction of RNA. I have made a video on extraction of RNA. Please go through that video. And we need a set of primers. So what is the use of primers here? Here we are interested in amplifying the gene, right? So the PCR is meant for that purpose only. If we want to amplify the gene, that is, if we want to make a multiple copies of the gene, we need to have a set of primers. Here in this RT-PCR, that is in the reverse transcription PCR method, generally we go with the use of 3 type of primers. They are sequence specific primers, oligo-DT primers, and random primers. We can go with the any type of primers. It depends upon the type of reaction you are carrying out. I'll explain you in detail when we talk about the procedure. Here, with the help of this RT-PCR method, we are going to synthesize the cDNA and followed by the amplification and quantification, right? So we need a set of probes also, and we need a PCR buffer, of course, and we need reverse transcriptase enzyme. And this enzyme is a RNA dependent DNA polymerase. Coming to the principle of RT-PCR, just now I told you that retroviruses will have RNA as a genetic material, right? They have GAG gene, Pol gene, and ENV gene. Due to the presence of these genes, those viruses can easily make polymerase, envelope, and also some structural proteins. Moreover, they can carry out the reverse transcription process, that is under in vivo conditions that takes place within the organism. Here, in this method of RT-PCR, we are going to set up a reaction that takes place under in vitro conditions, that is within the test tube, right? So coming to the principle of this method of RT-PCR, here what we are going to do, we need to take a template RNA, and by the process of reverse transcription, that is with the help of reverse transcriptase, the synthesis of cDNA takes place. Here the process takes place in 2 steps. In first step, the process of reverse transcription takes place. The enzyme reverse transcriptase is required. Whereas in the second step, the amplification and the quantification takes place. Here in this second step, the requirements are primers and probes. If you observe clearly, here first what happens, the RNA is used as a template, and from RNA we are going to synthesize the cDNA, that we are calling it as reverse transcription. Whereas here that so formed DNA will be amplified and quantified. I told you earlier, right, exons which are considered as a genes will be transcribed to mRNA, right? If we study the expression of the gene, we can easily make out the amount of gene that is present in a cell, right? See, for example, this is the DNA, right? So this is the exon region, and this exon region will undergo the transcription giving rise to an mRNA, right? So if we can study this RNA, we can easily make out the amount of gene that is present in a cell. This RT-qPCR, Q stands for quantitative, okay? This reverse transcription qPCR can be performed by 2 methods, that is by one-step RT-PCR method, and the other one is the 2-step RT-PCR method. Let's discuss each in detail. First, coming to the one-step PCR method, the name itself suggests that in one-step PCR method only one step is required, whereas in the 2-step RT-PCR method 2 steps are required. So coming here, that is in the one-step PCR, if you look into the PCR tube, what all we need to add? We are going to add reverse transcriptase enzyme, we are going to add RNA as a template, we are going to use PCR buffer, dNTPs, sequence specific primers, and polymerase. I already told you that we can use 3 different type of primers like random primers, oligo-DT, and sequence specific primers. Especially for this one-step PCR method, we specifically use sequence specific primers here, and it is a one-step reaction. where the synthesis of cDNA takes place at a time, followed by the amplification and the quantification. As we use sequence specific primers here, sometimes there is a chance of forming a primer dimers. That is the only drawback with the one-step PCR method. And coming to the two-step PCR method, here we are going to set up two reactions. Earlier in one-step PCR reaction, we are going to set up only one reaction. But here what we are going to do is, we are going to set up two reactions. Whereas in the first reaction, we go with the reverse transcription process. That is the synthesis of cDNA, right? Once you are done with the synthesis of cDNA, you can store this cDNA for the further study. Or you can go with the next reaction. That is, you are going to amplify and quantify the gene. This is not like a one-step RT-PCR. Here you are going to set up two reactions, right? So you are going to use different ingredients. And you are going to maintain different conditions for different reactions. See here. If you look into the picture of this two-step PCR, here, whereas in the first step, what you are going to add? You are going to add reverse transcriptase, mRNA, which is used as a template, buffer, DNTPs, random primers and oligo DT primers. We all know the structure of mRNA, right? It will have a 5' cap and a poly A tail at the 3' end, right? I already told you we can use three different type of primers, whereas in the first, that is in the one-step RT-PCR method, we are going to use only sequence-specific primers. But when it comes to this two-step PCR method, in the first reaction, we are going to use random primers as well as oligo DT primers. So here in the first step, what we are going to achieve? We are going to synthesize the cDNA. This is the first step, or we can call it as a first reaction. So this is the cDNA here at the end of the reaction. Now what you are going to add in the second reaction? We are going to use DNA polymerase, buffer, DNTP, sequence specific primers, where we are going to quantify the cDNA. In the first step, what we are going to do? We are going to synthesize the cDNA, followed by the amplification and quantification of cDNA. So here there are two different set of reactions which we need to carry out. So there are more chances of contamination. But here the advantage is that once you perform the synthesis of cDNA, this cDNA can be used for the further studies, and moreover you can store this DNA for quite some time. If you want to go with the amplification and quantification, you need to set up the another reaction. But here the problem is that as we are using the different conditions for the two different reactions, as we are using different ingredients. See, if you look here, the ingredients are different from the ingredients over here. We are going to use different ingredients to set up those two reactions. So sometimes the chances of contaminations are more. Reagents which you are using are quite expensive. Here we are using three set of primers, that is random primers, oligo DT primers and the sequence specific primers. So there is less chance of errors when you perform the experiment correctly. Now let's discuss about the actual procedure. So here, to start with, first we need RNA. So here the RNA is the starting material. Whatever the source you choose, if you want to study the gene expression or if you want to synthesize the cDNA followed by the amplification and quantification, the first step is to isolation of RNA. You can go with any of the methods for the extraction of RNA. After the extraction of RNA, here you are going to use RNA as a template, right? Then next is you need to have a set of primers. You need to select a primers. As I already told you that we can go with the different type of primers like random primers, oligo DT primers and sequence specific primers. If you look into the picture of random primers, so this is the RNA which is having a poly A tail. So this random primers will go and bind with the RNA if they are complementary to each other at random sites. Okay, and these random primers are the single stranded short nucleotide sequences that are either hexamers or octamers. Hope you are clear. these random primers will go and bind randomly to the RNA if they are complementary to each other. Right? Coming to the other type of primer, that is oligo-DT primers, where they will go and specifically bind at this polyatyl region, because we all know that adenine pairs with thymine, right? So both these sequences are complementary to each other, and these oligo-DT primers are usually 12 to 18 nucleotides long. Coming to the other type, that is sequence specific primers. These sequence specific primers are especially used in one-step reaction, that is one-step RT-PCR method, where if we are interested in amplifying a gene of interest, here with the use of this sequence specific primers, what we can achieve, we can amplify a specific gene of interest. We can't amplify other genes, right? See here, look into the picture. This is the mRNA with a polyatyl, and these are the sequence specific primers, where we are going to amplify that particular gene of interest. Coming to the major components of RT-PCR method, we need primers, we need dNTPs, RTase enzyme, that is reverse transcriptase enzyme, RNase H. So here this is an enzyme used to degrade RNA. I'll tell you why. And we need DNA polymerase, we need PCR buffer, we need nuclease free water, and also DNA ligase. Right? You can go with the either of the methods. Either you can go with a one-step PCR method, or you can go with the two-step PCR method. Method of RT-PCR, the 3 steps are involved, that is annealing, polymerization and deactivation. Remember, it is not like a conventional PCR method. We have learned about the PCR where we discussed 3 steps, right? Denaturation, primer annealing and extension. But here there is no denaturation step. Why? Because here we are using RNA as a starting material. RNA is single stranded, right? So in conventional PCR method, we use double stranded DNA as a template. So to initiate the process of synthesis, what we do in the first step, we have to denature that double stranded DNA. We are making it into a single stranded DNA, followed by the primer annealing and then extension. But here the first step is annealing, where you are going to maintain a temperature of 55 degrees centigrade to 65 degrees centigrade for 5 minutes. Followed by you need to maintain a temperature of 4 degrees centigrade for 2 minutes. You are going to allow these primers to go and bind with the RNA. And the next step is polymerization, where you are going to maintain a temperature of 10 to 50 degrees centigrade for 10 to 90 minutes, okay, followed by the deactivation, where you maintain a temperature of 85 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. Now let's discuss about the strand synthesis in detail. The cDNA synthesis will take place in 2 steps. First, the single stranded cDNA will be synthesized, followed by the synthesis of the other strand of the DNA. See here, this is the mRNA, okay. This RNA will be used as a template. This is cDNA. This is a RNA-DNA hybrid, okay. So how this single stranded cDNA has synthesized? RNA is used as a template, and with the help of the enzyme reverse transcriptase, the synthesis of cDNA will take place, okay. So this is the strand of the cDNA. So here this we call it as DNA RNA hybrid, and we need to amplify and quantify the DNA, right? So for this, what we are going to do in the next step is we are going to use an enzyme called RNase H. That is going to generate nicks in the RNA. And remember here, you need to use only less concentration of this RNase H. If you use it in high concentration, what happens is it will cleave the RNA template prematurely. So to avoid that problem, it is always suggested to use this RNase H in less concentration. See where you can find nicks over here. That is on the mRNA strand. Clear? Then in the next step, DNA polymerase will fill these nicks by adding dNTPs. So based on the sequence information that is present over here, DNA polymerase will add one nucleotide after the other and it is going to fill these nicks. Here we are going to use either DNA polymerase 1 or T7 DNA polymerase to carry out this reaction. With the help of the DNA polymerase, the synthesis will take place in 5' to 3' direction. And moreover, this DNA polymerase will have an exonuclease activity also. So it is going to remove this RNA strands and replace it with the DNA strand. So in the next step, DNA ligase will come into the action. We already have a DNA fragments over here that are being synthesized with the help of DNA polymerase 1. Now what we need to do to form a complete stretch of the cDNA, we need to join these adjacent fragments, right? So for that reason we use an enzyme called DNA ligase. So this DNA ligase will join these adjacent DNA fragments, forming a complete stretch of cDNA. So here at the end we are going to get a double stranded cDNA. This is the cDNA synthesis. Coming to the advantages of this method, it is simple, rapid and cost effective. And coming to the disadvantages of this method needs higher expertise, and moreover if there is any contamination during the reaction, that may lead to a false results. So we need to be very careful while we perform this method of RT-PCR. Coming to the applications, reverse transcription PCR determines the tissue specific gene expression. I already told you that the exons are the coding regions. We call them as a gene, right? Once they undergo transcription and translation giving rise to a protein, here with the help of this method it is possible to study the gene expression. Once we study the gene expression, we can easily make out the amount of gene that is present in a cell, because only the coding sequences will give rise to the mRNA, right? And from the mRNA we are going to get a protein, right? So we can easily determine the amount of gene that is present in a cell or a tissue. And moreover, by using this method of RT-PCR, it is possible to monitor prognosis and therapy response to cancer patients. As well as this method is used in gene insertion studies and gene therapy experiments also. And moreover, this RT-PCR method is also used in disease diagnosis and microbial identification. RT-PCR can also be used to measure viral load. I told you some of the viruses, especially retroviruses, will have RNA as a genetic material. So they will have an enzyme, reverse transcriptase, where they will synthesize the DNA from RNA. Right? So if we want to detect the viral load, or if we want to study the expression and the infection levels, we can go with this method of reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. This is all about the RT-PCR method. Soon I will come up with my next video. Please stay tuned. Thank you so much.